Welcome, everybody, to the Jordy Max Show, brought to you by MaxLawns.com for all your lawn maintenance needs. Check out MaxLawns.com. Took a little bit of a hiatus. It's been cold out in Alberta. Let's just say that. It's been a lot of snow on the ground. So, we're back. The Jordy Max Show is here and proudly presented by MaxLawns.com. For all your lawn maintenance needs, check out MaxLawns.com. I'm here with the main man, Shanzi. What's going on, Shanzi?
Just happy to be here. It's finally stopped snowing, and looks like we're getting a reprieve on the weather starting tomorrow. So we're going to get a 28-degree swing in the weather.
Woo! Can't wait for that. Okay, let's just dive right in here. We're talking a little bit of four nations face-off. Four nations facing off. Sweden, Finland, Canada, and the U.S. of A. Shanzi, what's been your thoughts on the tournament so far?
In two words, pleasantly surprised. I'm super excited for the game tomorrow. I'm very interested to see what happens between U.S. and Canada. Is it going to be a Game 7 style shutdown, don't open it up type game? Or is it going to be shades of the round robin game where they absolutely murdered each other in the first 9 seconds?
Exactly.
Let's talk about it.
Well, for those of you that don't know, the Four Nations face-off was 4 games per team, correct?
If you don't know, you've been living under a rock.
Exactly.
It is, quite frankly, the most viewed hockey since the 2010 Olympics, if you can believe it.
And this tweet summed it up from some ex-user. I don't know his name. I would credit him here. Pretty much he said, the NFL has turned their Pro Bowl into a glorified flag football game. NBA All-Stars barely even break a sweat during their All-Star games. But the NHL players are throwing haymakers, having 3 fights 9 seconds into a game. Holy, this game is awesome.
I'm telling you, it was awesome. And I don't even know, awesome isn't even the word. It was phenomenal. It was shades of 1987 Canada Cup, where you had all these all-stars, but you also had these goons that went around and just absolutely murdered people. The Kachuk brothers are quickly becoming these amazing heels that are making hockey just look relevant again.
Yeah.
I was watching PK Subban was on the
creator tournament, right?
I don't know. He was on with a couple NBA guys.
Yes.
And he was talking about the difference between hockey culture and basketball culture. And he said, listen, either you're hurt or you're injured. Hockey players play both, hurt and injured. Mm-hmm. Basketball players, they won't even play hurt. And
they
that's
won't even play with a stubbed toe.
Well, and that's the difference, right? Because of the fact that basketball players are also a brand.
Yeah.
Right? Hockey players, yes, they have endorsements, but
they're not as big.
No, it's not even about that. It's a totally different mindset.
Yeah.
You know, like, for example, in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Sherwood Park, where we broadcast Jordy Max Show, if we get 25 centimeters of snow and it's minus 30, guess what? All the kids are going to school. Some of the buses might be canceled, but parents are getting their kids to school. If you're in the lower mainland, let's say Abbotsford, and you get 25 centimeters of snow and it's minus 30, guess what? Nobody's leaving anywhere, not even parents. And so that's the difference in mindset, right? And so, yeah, my opinion on the Four Nations, especially that Canada-US game, was well done. The NHL hit a home run.
Yeah. And I agree. And Connor McDavid said something about this. He said, international play like that every every 2 years is enough. And I think it's also because McDavid has been working his ass off every single day. He barely got a break. Made the Stanley Cup Finals, went right back. Now he's playing Four Nations. Probably going to make the Cup Finals again. Like, that's brutal.
Can I throw something out there?
Yeah.
They're talking about doing the World Cup again in 2028, correct?
Yes.
And then after that, it's essentially they're talking about, because the Olympics are every how many years?
Every second year.
Every second year.
Or every 4 years.
Isn't it every? Well, the Summer Olympics are every 4 years, and the Winter Olympics are every 4 years, and they alternate every 2. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, I wonder, because the last Olympics was 2022, and they weren't there, correct?
Yes, correct.
And then the Olympics before that was 2018, and they weren't there.
Yes.
The last time they were actually in the Olympics was when?
Would have been 2014, correct?
Yes. Right?
Or was it?
It was Sochi.
Yeah, it was Sochi. It was Sochi.
Okay. So that was the last time they were there. My point is, now it's going to be every 2 years. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have the World Cup.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, the situation between Russia and Ukraine is figured out by 2028. And I think that's what the NHL is hoping, is that that's figured out, and then. I mean, unless you do like a Russian Federation type situation, like they did for the Olympics a couple of years ago.
Yeah, in 22.
But who knows?
I don't know. I just think it's tough because they said they're not doing any. They're not going to do any conglomeration teams, so any mixed teams. So
right.
Like Team North America or Team Europe.
They say that now.
No, they said that they're not doing it at all. At all.
Again, they say that now. The head of the NHLPA might be different by then.
Yeah.
The head of the NHL might be different by then.
Yeah.
Right? And so I've always been of the belief, never say never.
1,000%.
Here's a prime example. Never in my wildest dreams would I have ever thought that there would be a team in Utah.
Fair.
Right?
Yeah.
Salt Lake City was last on, not even on the radar. Houston, what's the other one? Another team in Atlanta, Quebec City. Well, now they're talking about New Orleans, which I don't know how they're going to pull that one off, but if they're going to do it, man.
Is it just me, or is New Orleans getting everything?
Well,
they're getting Mania 42. And remember, they've gotten 3 WrestleManias within the last 12 years, right? And then they also have gotten the Super Bowl this year. Yeah. They might be getting an NHL team.
You sound like you're upset by that.
I'm not. I'm just saying, give some opportunity other places.
To where?
Edmonton, Alberta.
We already have a hockey team.
But do we have a baseball team? Nope. Do we have a basketball team?
We have a baseball team.
We do, but it's not MLB level. We don't have NFL level football.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. There's no way Edmonton, Alberta, Canada can support an NFL team.
But do you think Edmonton could support a PWHL team? The attendance on the weekend says so.
So here's my thing about that. Okay? And the reason why I say that is statistically it's proven. Edmonton, Alberta, Canada is a very awesome special event town. But when it comes to a regular ticket, if it's not the Oilers, people aren't going.
The thing is, we haven't seen another hockey team in the city other than the Oil Kings, which is junior.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Okay, so you weren't alive when the Edmonton Ice was here.
That was also junior.
How about the Roadrunners?
Junior.
Junior was not Roadrunners. They were AHL. That's not junior.
Yeah, it's still lower level. If you have a league,
but what do you?
PWHL is the.
So you're telling me that the PWHL? How many teams are in the PWHL?
6 currently.
Thank you.
So
you're telling me that the PWHL is a higher league than the AHL?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know what? They are on the same level as the NHL in their respective areas.
Fair.
I think.
So you think
just by the attendance last night, it's proven that you can do it. 17,000.
Okay.
That arena fits about 19,000.
I don't care about that, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Do you remember when we went to Commonwealth Stadium to watch Canada?
Yes.
In soccer.
Yes. Packed.
Packed. Okay. But then we had a soccer team here called FC.
But
let me finish my point. We had a soccer team here that was a regular draw, and at one point they were one of the top teams in their league.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Guess what was happening?
They were losing out of money.
Their attendance was dog shit.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Because they didn't have enough.
Because they're not the Edmonton Oilers. I'm telling you right now, this city is big time event or Edmonton Oilers.
Or Edmonton Elks.
No. Have you seen their attendance? They had to close the upper bowl because nobody was showing up.
Do you know why? Because our team sucked.
Yeah, okay.
For years. But look at it before.
So what?
Look at it before that.
Fair, but what? So
before COVID, they had one of the highest attendance in the CFL. That stadium can fit about 56,000 people.
Okay, cool, awesome. So a PWHL team comes here.
Yep.
Guess what? They're an expansion team. So you're telling me they're going to be good? They'll be dog shit. You know what? I'm telling you right now, it'll be the new hot ticket for probably a season or two, and then it'll fall off. Ask the Edmonton Oil Kings how they're doing in attendance.
Not that well, but they're not a good team this year.
The only one that is a shining example.
The Edmonton Riverhawks.
The Edmonton Riverhawks. They're doing it right.
And the Stingers.
Stingers.
They have good attendance.
Not bad.
Their arenas are packed every night.
Not bad.
What I'm saying, though, is that for that FC Edmonton take, that's weak. You are comparing Premier League and Bundesliga players, national players, Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, to guys in the Canadian Premier League.
Okay.
And the levels between the main Premier League.
What's your point? You're
much better players, more well-known players.
Okay.
That's my point right there.
Okay. So name 10 female hockey players right off the top of your head.
Sarah Nurse, Natalie Spooner, Marie-Philippe Poulin. Let's go. Who else? Taylor Heisey.
It's 5.
Yeah, that's 5. Who else do we got? Hillary Knight. We have what the hell's the goalie girl's name? I forgot her name.
This is what I'm saying. Okay, so now you expand it further.
But remember this: I don't even watch the PWHL, and I was just able to name 5 players easily.
I understand that, and this is the point I'm making.
Lee Steckland, that was her name.
Danielle Serdachny. Right? I get it. They're household names. There's a few that are household names. That's awesome. When they expand to 8, 10, 14 teams, whatever, do you think that the level of player is going to stay high? Because now they have to fill these rosters.
But then they're getting younger people coming in, younger girls coming in.
Of course.
And
these things have to be a slow burn. There's a reason why the NHL started in what year?
It would have been
early 1900s, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They were called the original 6?
Yeah.
Until what year?
Probably like the 70s.
Expansion was 1967.
They weren't the original 6. It was the original 4, but I digress.
Pardon me?
It was the original 4 originally.
The original 6. Can you name them?
The original 6: Bruins, Blackhawks, Red Wings, Leafs, Canadians, and then Bruins.
Bruins, Blackhawks, Red Wings, Leafs, Canadians.
Am I blanking or something?
Yeah.
Rangers.
Thank you. Okay.
But do you even know about the original 4?
Yeah, but we're not talking about that.
I digress, but
you're trying to make an argument out of nothing.
No, I was just saying that.
Here's what I'm saying is it took them at least 40 years to expand.
At the same time, hockey wasn't a big sport yet. Hockey came into fruition in, I think it was 1890, and they made a league by 1919. So it took 40 years for the sport to grow, just to have a league.
Okay.
Just a league. Then you have to grow it in the household. Then you have to actually have teams want to have a market. The sport was not big enough yet. At its peak, which would have been probably 1990, if the PWHL started then, they probably could have expanded 10 times.
I disagree. There wasn't that many female hockey players at that time.
I mean, if there was...
But there's not.
If there was the demand.
But here's the thing. We're talking about the here and now. And the 1990s was 35 years ago.
I think that hockey is probably arguably even bigger than it was. And now there's enough that they can expand.
Again, if we're going back to, do you think that Edmonton could support like professional leagues?
Yes.
Oh, ask the Edmonton Rush. Ask them. Where are they?
They're in a different location.
Why?
Didn't have the attendance.
Thank you.
But also in a crap arena.
Are you kidding me?
At the time, yeah, it was crap.
So what?
It was old as hell.
Okay. But they were still the league champions. And they left.
But there's not a big lacrosse demand in the
Are
city.
you kidding me? There's not?
Compared to hockey.
Exactly. Thank you.
Compared to hockey, the demand here is insane.
Now let's put this in perspective, okay? Now, Jordan, let's say you get $300 for your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you have a choice between buying Edmonton Oilers jersey and ticket or buying a PWHL jersey and ticket. What are you choosing? I already know the answer.
I would say PWHL.
I highly disagree.
Because I already have multiple Oilers jerseys.
Okay. So, that's fair. And then you go to one or two games, right? All of a sudden, the Oilers are in the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, just hear me. And the PWHL team isn't doing so good. Which one are you choosing?
Oilers, because it's the bigger draw at the same time.
Exactly. Thank you. My point. This is what I'm trying to say.
You're comparing Stanley Cup Finals to a crappy team that's in the regular season. It's... Right? It's not even ground. The Oilers are here because it's the Stanley Cup Final.
The Oilers are here because they have the two best players of their generation right now.
If McDavid and Draisaitl weren't on that team, I would have definitely chose PWHL. Because look at this. Did you see the Oilers' attendance when in 2011?
Yeah.
Decade of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Crap.
No, it wasn't. They were still selling out.
They were not selling out.
Go back and have a look at the numbers.
I did. They were not selling out Rexall Place.
They were still selling out Rexall Place. Even with their shitty-ass team, I promise you. Because everybody thought there was still hope. Taylor Hall comes in. Oh, my God. Oh, he's the new savior. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins comes in. Oh, he's the new savior. And every year they would be trash. Let's bring in Sheldon Surrey. Let's parade all these guys through, right? Let's bring in Milan Lucic to ride shotgun with Connor McDavid.
That did not end up well.
Right? But at the time, people are like, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm. I think, realistically, though, I do think that Edmonton could support a PWHL team.
And I disagree. At this point in time right now, no. Maybe in 10 years, yes. I
think in 5 years they could.
Let's see if this league lasts 5 years.
I bet it will.
I don't disagree. But let's let the bigger markets that can handle those things do that first before we start talking expansion.
Here's my question, though. Why did Ottawa get the team?
Why did Ottawa get
Their attendance is always crap. They have some of the worst attendance in the league. So why does Ottawa have a team?
Well, why does Ottawa have a team? I think Ottawa has a team because Ontario has way more people.
They have Toronto.
Do you know how far Ottawa and Toronto are from each other?
They have a Montreal team.
Do you know how far those places are?
Very close. Montreal and Ontario are fairly close.
Okay. What is that? But that means nothing.
There's two teams.
Yeah.
You're just making one in the middle.
Edmonton and Calgary are close, and they're still rivals.
That's why you just call it Alberta. If you were going to do something like that, you'd call it Alberta.
So I'm going to explain something to you. This is how rivalries work. You take two teams in close proximity, and they naturally become a rival, right? So you have Toronto versus Ottawa. That's a natural rivalry.
Toronto versus Montreal.
Natural rivalry. Ottawa versus Montreal. Natural rivalry, right? And so that's why they did that, close proximity. And because it's a new league, they wanted to save on travel cost, right? How many Western teams are there?
None.
Thank you. This is what I'm saying.
If you want to count Minnesota as Western, you can.
Nah, you can still get there on a quick 2-3 hour flight.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what I'm trying to say, is they're keeping everything out east so that it can be monitored and so that they can sharpen the business model that they have so that when they are ready, they'll be able to ready. But if they were going to announce that they're going to do a PWHL team starting in September in Edmonton, I will put my money on it as a business owner. I can guarantee that would fail. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if they only expanded just to Edmonton, the flights alone would kill. Because right now,
realistically, they wouldn't just expand to Edmonton.
Of course they wouldn't.
They'd probably have Edmonton, Vancouver, and maybe like Seattle.
So here's my question. Would they expand to Edmonton before Vancouver? Guaranteed not.
Not, because Vancouver is also a much bigger city.
Exactly.
And it just has more of that feel. And I was never saying that they would expand to Edmonton before Vancouver. I was just saying realistically, I think that they could support a team.
I don't know. Here's another example, okay? And nothing against female versus male. I'm not going to even get into that. But if you go out to a U of A Golden Bears game versus a Pandas game, I promise you the draw, ticket-wise, is night and day.
But the thing is, a lot of people don't like, and especially girls, which is what this would be catered to for the PWHL, don't know that the Pandas are a thing. But they're hearing about the PWHL in Toronto and Ottawa. They're like, wow. And
again, that's a marketing machine, okay? But I promise you, you're not going to get 20 dates, 30 dates. You're not going to sell out 30 nights of PWHL in Edmonton.
But at the same time, are they looking for a sellout?
I was actually speaking to a local sports agent for the Sports Corporation recently, actually this weekend, we were at Silent Ice. Mm-hmm. Now, Silent Ice holds just under 2,000, okay? In the nice side, the Hatch, I believe it's called.
Hatchco, yes.
Okay, so that arena holds 1,800.
Yeah.
I think that would be a perfect venue for PWHL.
I don't know.
Why?
Because the Ottawa Charge are playing at the Canadian Tire Center, which is the Senators Arena.
Okay.
And
how's their attendance?
Fairly good, actually. The Toronto team is playing at the old Maple Leaf Gardens, which can hold like 4,000, 5,000 people.
Mm-hmm. And this is what I'm saying.
So you're like tripling those numbers.
No, this is what I'm saying. They are better suited playing in a smaller AHL type arena, like 5,000 or less. I would
probably
say
something like the Expo Center.
I would say yes. I would say put them in even the Butterdome or whatever it's called.
Claire Drake.
Yes, even the Drake.
No, it's too old.
It doesn't matter about the age. I'm talking about the size. The size of venue.
Yeah, something that size.
Right? The Red Deer Centrium.
Yes, that would work. Or like in Regina, they got the Brandt Center.
But for you to think, and I'm just going to circle back, for you to think that the PWHL, that this market could support a PWHL team on top of the Edmonton Oilers, I'm going to say I disagree, just because I know that this is a great special event town. You bring through the Harlem Globetrotters, yeah, they'll sell out. But if they're here every single night, highly doubt it. Now,
that's also a special commodity, though. That's not a hockey team.
But the way that the PWHL was marketed was a special commodity. It was marketed as a takeover. We're taking over your arena. Come out one night only. It's a spectacle. Come out, check it out, and we'll be gone the next night. And that's what they did. They sold it out. And to move on to the next topic, your point was, could they support an MLB team or a PWHL or an NFL? Maybe an NFL.
I have a
and
feeling
I'm going to tell you why.
Because they have a big enough stadium.
Well, it's not even about the big enough stadium. NFL is a license to print money.
Yes. There's so many football fans just in my school. So many football fans. NFL fans. Just say that around Edmonton.
With fantasy football being the way it is, this stadium would have to be really renovated, like big time.
Which they are planning on doing renovations. So.
Yeah, but that's also a private owner. So I would say that, logistically, they'd have to build a new stadium and the Elks would probably be gone. And so for that reason, I don't think that we would be getting an NFL team anytime soon.
No, I don't think we are. I just said I have a feeling that they could support one.
Totally. I think they could.
Yeah, easily.
NFL, yes. MLB, maybe.
With the Riverhawks.
Yeah, the Riverhawks, it's a niche thing.
Because it's just more of a come out, drink beer, and leave.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what the Riverhawks is. Yeah, no, let's actually move on to the next topic here.
So back to the Four Nations.
Yes.
Tomorrow is the final.
Yes.
What have you thought of the pace of play and the style of play thus far?
Holy crap. They should never do an All-Star game again. Seriously, they should never do an NHL All-Star game again. Those things suck. They don't care. If they're gonna do it, do North America versus World, because that actually was great. They tried to rekindle it a little bit, bringing back the draft. It did not go well, though. The Four Nations face-off. Man, high octane. People are watching it. I saw multiple Canada jerseys in my school. Because people, oh wow, let's watch Canada. And even for the players, they're playing for the flag. This is the first time you get to see guys in Canada jerseys. And the last time the Olympics was 2014? It was the 2016 World Cup of Hockey. So this is the first time you get to see guys wearing their home country's jerseys in just under 10 years, a decade.
It's crazy exciting.
Connor McDavid has not worn a Canada jersey since he was 18 years old. Well, he could have worn one of the World Championships. Those don't really matter, in my opinion. I don't know. I've loved the pace of play. I think Finland has outdone my expectations. Finland actually played great. Sweden was crap this year. The U.S. is blowing my mind, and Jordan Binnington is not playing as well as I expected. Actually, no, I expected him to not play well.
I mean, they're in the finals.
The only way that Canada wins this is if we have Game 7 Stanley Cup Final Jordan Binnington.
Yeah.
That's the only way Canada wins. If Binnington comes out and lets in 3 goals through the 5-hole, we're screwed. Canada's screwed. And I can say we, because this is my home country, baby.
It's a true story. The final's going to be interesting, especially if basically what's going to happen is the winning team is going to be like, we're dominant, we're the best, blah, 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 and the losing team is going to be like, this was a fake tournament anyways, who cares?
Yeah.
That's basically how everything. But I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what unfolds tomorrow. And then, lastly, kind of wrapping things up in a neat little bow. Due to the Four Nations, there's a stipulation where NHL teams that have Four Nations players can put or place 2 players on their roster over and above for 1 to 2 practices / games.
Yes.
Which is exciting because guess what? We get to see Matt
Savoy
on Draisaitl's wing.
Woo-hoo!
He lined up with him in practice with Podkolzin on the other side. From all reports, it was like a glove. It was a square peg in a square hole.
I think Matt Savoy is playing on Draisaitl's line full time by next season.
Very well could be.
Realistically, I think that is what is going to happen. Man, Matt Savoy has been a great prospect. I don't get how Buffalo fumbled him.
I mean, he's only
for
20.
Ryan McLeod.
Ryan McLeod's doing okay.
Compared to Matt Savoy?
Yeah.
Matt Savoy is a top 10 draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan McLeod was like a 3rd round pick or something. I don't know. I think Matt Savoy is going to be the future of this Edmonton Oilers team.
He's certainly the future, but how near of the future is he going to be? Right? That's like saying Olivier Rodrigue is the future of the Oilers.
No, like I think he's going to be like the star of the future of the Oilers. He's going to be riding shotgun along Connor McDavid or Draisaitl.
We'll see.
For damn near his whole career.
We'll see. I want to see. Give me a game or 2.
My opinion is that Matt Savoy will be better than Shane Wright.
You think so?
Tell me I'm wrong. Actually, sorry, scratch Shane Wright. I think Matt Savoy will be better than Uri Slavkovsky.
How about Macklin Celebrini?
You know what? Maybe.
What was he? What's it called? What was he drafted? Where was he drafted? Like what place? What overall?
Celebrini?
No, Matt Savoy.
I'm correct. It would have been top 10.
You think he was top 10?
I think so, yes.
I got it here. He was drafted. He was drafted by the Buffalo Sabres 9th overall in 2022.
Okay.
I guess time will tell. So, what else? I think that's it for the week.
I think that is it for the week.
All right. Well, what's coming up on the wrestling?
Let's see. Chamber on March 1st.
Chamber March 1st.
That's gonna be great. That's really it.
We'll get together and chat about that soon.
Yes. Oh, yes. And still your predictions champion from the Royal Rumble. Thank you very much.
I was not a part of that.
Yes.
Therefore, I call it a botched victory.
Botched victory. Okay. Well, that is going to do it for today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next one.
In the meantime.
And in between time, stay classy, everybody. Have a good day.